and you focus on your sensations, the connection of your legs and pelvis to the floor. And when you feel your strong glutes, you can press gently on the mat. And when you push against the floor pushes back. And so you feel a wave coming up through the waistline, the rib cage, the shoulders, the neck, and the skull. All the way to the fingertips as well. And when you tune into your sensations, you perceive also your emotions, your thoughts. And the goal of the practice is to align body, heart, and mind. Or to understand that they are already aligned. We just tend to forget that. And so working on the core can be a big asset to find your axis. So we'll use the practice to widen our perception, to find this awareness of the alignment again. And to change the perception, there is a very simple exercise that I like to practice. So you can rub your hands together. And you can start by massaging the crown of your head. And imagine you can feel that the skull is very thick, very hard, but you can imagine it's like Play-Doh, you know? You decide whether it's flexible or not. And from the forehead to the chin, and from the nose to the ears, and now you can massage your forehead like you dust off, you know, when you remove the dust. How would you say that? Well, you get the idea, it seems. And then you can massage the temples. So once again, you feel that the density of the skull, and it's good that your skull is solid. But if you have enough attention, you can build intention and try to soften the hard bone. And if you soften what encases the brain, maybe you can soften the mind as well. And you can massage the eyelids and the nose. the cheekbones, the cheeks. You can massage the junction between the superior jaw and inferior jaw. You can let the chin drop, heart drop. And during the day, the only moment where your teeth, upper and lower teeth, should be in contact is when you eat. So if you notice that you tend to clench your jaws, you can use the breath, use this exercise maybe to release. And then you can massage the line of the jaws. And the neck. And then, once again, you dust off. And then the back. So feel the difference when you connect to the sides of the neck and to the back of the neck. And you can relax for a moment and feel how different the upper part of the body, the head and the neck feels. And how it has changed your perception. Your thoughts, your emotions, your sensations should be quite different now. So using a very simple tool, you can already make a big step in your journey. And then you can massage the chest, the shoulder. You can bring the right arm in behind your back to massage the trapezius muscles. So you can dust as well. And you create space also for the breath, for the neck, but when we connect to the rib cage or to the chest, I don't like the idea that the thorax is a cage. So to the chest, which contains a treasure, it's way more positive that way. So when you connect to the chest, you can make space for your breath. And when you make space for your breath, you make space for your core and for your axis. So the breath is everything, as you know. And you can place your hand behind your head and you massage the back of your arm, the armpit. And then this arm goes there and you open the right side. You can drop your head and you feel how you can create space between the right shoulder blade and the spine. And you can gently side bend to lengthen. And then you reverse. And then the back of the arm, the armpit, the rib cage. And you cross your arm, you take hold of your left shoulder and you rock gently, creating space between the shoulder blade and the spine. And then you can side bend. Drop your head and you rock from side to side. And reverse the position of the arms. And you stay here for a moment. And take a moment to widen the space between the shoulder blades, but also between the shoulder blades and at the junction between the lumbar spine and the thorax. So it's from up and down and from side to side. It's lateral and vertical at the same time. And you can feel that there's a hinge between the thorax and the lumbar spine. And you can breathe into that hinge. I guess it's the place where the diaphragm connects to the spine, and you also have the psoas muscle. So the roots of both muscles interlace somehow, and they're very important for the core activation. So the idea is that the pelvic floor and the abs are going to support the psoas, and if the psoas is supported, it will soften, some tension will release, and so it will also release the diaphragm. So using your core frees your breath, and using your breath frees your core. It's a virtuous circle. And then you massage. Try to really be aware of the sensations. So it will bring lots of quality during the core work. So when it's easy, you practice like it's very, very hard. So when it's very, very hard, you'll practice like it's easy. Otherwise, you might suffer a little bit. So now you can massage the sit bones. And you can tilt forward, and I'm not watching. So you can also connect to your pelvic floor. Now, since we massage the rest, we can also touch the perineum, and without it being weird. And you can come back. And you massage and you find the junction between the legs and the pelvic floor all the way to the pubic bone. And once again, you close your eyes and you feel the connection between the pelvis, the thorax, and the skull. And you feel the breath rolling like waves up and down. And I've used a very anatomical vocabulary, but we could have talked about energetics or chakras or whatever, but those are just words. What you feel now is way more powerful than all the yoga babble that I could steal from Anodea Judith or I don't know what. The idea of the practice is to make a direct experience and not to reproduce forms or discourses. You feel that this is a vital ensemble. You could live without arms and legs. Life would be less fun, especially for yoga, but okay, you'd be functional. So this is the actual skeleton, and you have the appendicular skeleton as well. So we can explore that. You massage the hand towards the shoulder, And the other arm. And then you can roll all the way to the feet. And coming back, please be aware of this line here, of the rest as well, but from the inside of the feet to the inside of the calves, to the inside of the thighs, to the pelvic floor, to the pubic bone, to the lower belly, all the way to the plexus that we can massage a little bit as well. And you can draw the frontier between the rib cage and the belly. So for today, we'll assume that the core starts here, all the way here. So this is your core. And so for the yoga poses, it's very helpful. For life, it's very helpful. So it starts from the soles of the feet all the way to your sternum, and it might go up even. So it's very much wider than just your abs and your pelvic floor. So you have more potential. And the wider it is, the more ease you will have